Hi ladies, so today we are going to be talking about our new distributor guide. This is something that we put together to make it easy for you when you've got new recruits, because there's just so much information and so much to remember, and we found ourselves being on the phone constantly in those first couple of weeks, and then coming up with questions and us trying to remember everything. So we wanted to put it all in an easy place where it's laid out for you and for them, and it's easy to remember, and you don't have to be trying to think, what is it that I need to talk about? So we're going to walk you through it kind of like you would with a new distributor. Now this is something, like we said, it'll be in our team page in the files section. You can download it and email it to them. If they're close, maybe print it and set up a time to meet, go out for lunch, go over it. You could print it and mail it to them if they don't have a way to print it. So anyways, we're going to just go through it and, let you know what's in here and kind of the ins and outs of how it all works. So it's super cute. It's really cute. So on this first page, there's a little welcome, and it's pretty, we've kept it really generic on purpose. We meant it so that there isn't a specific team brand on it, so that you can send it to your recruits and they can send it to their recruits and down to their recruits, and it won't have one person's information all over it. There is one spot where we mentioned ourselves, but we'll get into that. Yeah. So generic welcome message, welcome to Senegence. Here is a place where they can write down, or you could write down for them, their uplines information. We put 5 spots just to kind of go up a ways so they know people that they can contact for help. And then there's just a table of contents here going over everything that's in here. So, and I put a lot of work into making sure it was all one page.
Very nice and concise.
Everything's concise. We don't want to overwhelm people. Okay, so the first page in here, page 2 actually, is business basics. So those first steps, those just initial things that they need to be thinking of and setting up. So the first thing is picking a business name. So ours, for example, is Your Lip Ladies, and it took us a few tries to get to that, and it probably will you too. You just need to, find what works for you, what feels right. We tried a few different things and settled on, Your Lip Ladies is like, that's what we want to be, is Your Lip Ladies. So it felt natural, and who knows, maybe down the road we'll change it again. Right. Sometimes it takes some tries.
Another thing you want to make sure is don't have the name Lip Sense, Senegence, anything Senegence related, because it is copyrighted. So it will get taken down. We also made that mistake.
Yes, in our email address. So that's in your business name that you put for your Facebook page, your email address. You can't use that anywhere that's associated with you, because those are copyrighted names.
Yes.
Money processing is another thing to set up. So Square, PayPal, Venmo. We use Square. We like the free processing when you recruit and you share the code. That's another thing to remember. And we put it in here as though we're talking to them. Contact your uplines for that code. So if you email this to them, they know to contact you for that. If you have it, and if not, they can go through their uplines to find someone with a Square free processing code.
Kind of nice.
Very nice. Set up your social media pages. So Facebook is the most used one. There are a couple of options. Group pages are great because you can add people easily, or they can add people easily, and there's a lot of ease for interaction there. A Facebook page, like a business page, you can pay to boost it, and so you see it in people's
like on the
sidebars. Let's see, a lot of people have both. It's up to you. You can start with one and then expand to another, however
see what you like.
You're comfortable with. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all great places to have a social media presence.
I think Instagram is, like, for us, is more really good for like advertising. We don't really.
There's not a lot of
interaction, but it does get a lot of likes and feedback.
So really, it's best to start with 1 or 2 social media platforms. Start small, because you will overwhelm yourself.
Pace yourself.
Pick 1 or 2, and then once you're settled there, if you feel like you want to expand, then go for it. Make sure that people are seeing you. It's really easy to go find cute YouTube videos or steal selfies from like the Scenographics Facebook page. And those are great, but they want to see you.
They want to see you.
They want to know it's you. Otherwise, it's not personal. They don't remember that it's you.
Yeah.
So the next page is focused on ordering. Your upline should help you place your first order. So that's, again, there's going to be a difference in how you cover all of this depending on if you mail it to them or you're sitting with them. if you're sitting with someone, you probably won't say, your upline will help you with your order.
That will be you.
That would be you. So, but yes, it covers that's who they should go to for help. You know, it covers that it's important to shoot for 300. That really should be the minimum.
Yes.
If they're personal use, you probably won't be going over all this with them. If you're going through this, chances are they're running a business. And so they need to understand that if they're checking out at less than 300, they're losing a lot in the discount level. Obviously, the goal, if you really want to go for it and get the most for your money, is that 50% discount. But, you know, 300 is a reasonable goal.
And we're going to go into another video of what all in a 300 PV, why it's so important to place a 300 PV. So that'll be in a completely separate video.
Yes. So then it covers PV. What is PV? Which is the number assigned to every resaleable product, so that it's fair across different countries, different currencies. In the U.S., we have it easy. It's half of the retail dollar. So gloss is $20.
10 PV.
10 PV. All right. So then we need to cover that there are 2 ways to order when you first start out. Not 2 different ordering processes, but just 2 different kinds of mindsets for ordering. So one is to order for inventory, a stock order where you're trying to get, you want to order to meet your sales throughout that month. So you kind of anticipate, you get to know what your customer base is like, and
what
that's obviously going
popular.
to what colors, and that's going to change as you go. So you just anticipate that coming couple of weeks, months, or a month, excuse me, however often you want to order. Another way, and this is really easier for when you're starting out, is to order as customers purchase.
Yes.
So at first, when you don't have money to drop into it, I mean, if you do, then inventory is great because it
be really beneficial.
It's
People will buy what you have on hand.
Yes.
They like that instant gratification.
Eventually, the goal needs to be to have inventory. But until then, order as customers purchase. So you set a date. Now, it's really, some people just, you know, we'll see people that will, you know, just wait until they have a certain amount and then order. Or they'll, and it's really better to set a goal. I'm going to order on this date, and I have to meet my goal by that date. And then your customers know when you're going to order by. You'll know if you need to push, if you're not quite to the amount you need for that 300 PV order. And then as that date approaches, then you gather your orders and you place the order.
Yep.
And then they know about how long they'll need to wait.
Yes. Shipping and taxes are really important. Check your state, because I know there's different taxes for different states or countries.
Yes, and make sure you're looking into the costs of shipping. Shipping isn't just what you pay for postage. You need to factor in the envelopes and the, you know, the labels, if you're going to put an address label. All of that stuff, the bags you put them in, things like that. So we
can add up.
Yeah, it can add up. People tend to charge between $3-4 depending on their use. Let's see, and then front loading. So what that means, it's very important. So what that means is that the discount level that you are at will maintain through the end of the month unless you hit a higher discount level. So for example, our goal is always to front load, which means order at the beginning of the month, 750 PV. If we do that, then we have that discount clear through the end of that month. And if we need to hurry and order a quick thing, a customer needs something we don't have on hand, we can order it and
at the 50% discount.
Get 50%. So
that also helps for your retail if you're wanting to get, if that's how you're wanting to pay yourself. So that way you have that full 50% discount through the whole month, so that way you can.
Yes, if retail, I mean, some people don't want to build a team right away, and they want to focus on retail. And if you're doing that, and really even if you're not, you're eating into your profits.
Yes.
If you aren't ordering at a high discount level. So don't order little bits here and there up to the big discount. You want to start with the big discount. And then also make sure that you let your customers know, or well, that you sell them at least for the first purchase of Lip Sense, a collection. If you're selling them something that is bonding to their lips, they need to have something to remove it.
Yes.
And they may not purchase it again. They might not feel it's useful because they can use warm water, or they really just stick to the nude colors and they don't make a lot of mistakes. But give them one in that first purchase just so they have everything they'll need if the occurrence comes by that they need it.
Yes.
And then on here we actually put a little cute graphic with the discount breakdown so they understand where 20%, 30%, 40, 50, how all that works.
They know the cutoff.
Dollar amounts and PVs. So the next thing to talk about is things to invest in. Now, you know, you don't need to spend a lot to become a Synergence distributor. As we talked about in our frequently asked questions for potential distributors video, that, you know, $55 is it. That's really all you need, because you can order as customers order.
Yes.
But there are things that are useful to have, and you can get them, you know, as you go, but they're good things. They're going to be helpful both for you and for your customers. Yeah. So business cards, obviously, you want to have those around all the time, you know, for wowing and people have questions. Vistaprint, Zazzle, Tiny Prints, all great places to go to. We typically use Vistaprint because they get the 40% off?
20%. You get a 20% little gift card every time you order. So those add up.
Yes. All right. And then bags for product. We get these cute little...
They're little cellophane bags. I wish we had one to show, but we're but they're cute little cellophane bags, and they got little kisses on them.
Bags and Bows online, Paper Mart. You might get a couple different sizes of bags if you're venturing into the skincare and other makeup.
Skincare foundation.
The little bags are great for lip scents, but you might want bigger bags for whatever you're selling. Bubble mailers, you can get them on Amazon really cheap. Test kit.
Costco for bubble mailers. I've seen them there for pretty cheap.
And you know, you'll find at any office store sometimes they'll have sales. You know, watch Black Friday, things like that.
Yep.
Test kit supplies. Test sticks you can find at cosmetics.com, which is QOSMEDIX.
Yes.
Cosmetics.com. They're the little dental sticks, and there's a bit of a technique to using them, but they're the most cost effective.
We could do a training on that too.
You should. Cotton pads, witch hazel, rubbing alcohol, painter's palettes. We tend to use blank CDs because they're super cheap. And
they're a conversation starter.
And they are. And brushes you can get on Amazon, super cheap.
Yep.
Elf brushes are great. But just a nice little list of things that they might not think of. Like we didn't know at first, you need witch hazel. Things that they might not know.
Yep.
All right, so homework. These are just some things that you can say, okay, now that we've signed up and we're ready to go, these are some things to kind of start thinking about and looking into. Now, obviously, you're not their boss. We're not your boss. But these are just...
good guidelines.
And really this whole guide is just good guidelines, things that if they want to be successful right from the get-go, get this all done now. Don't be worrying about it later as you think of it. So the first thing, set up your launch demo.
Yep.
Get ready to start selling.
Yep.
Set a date that works for both of you so you can go help. If you're out of town, maybe find a way to do it, you know, a Facebook version of a launch. And then the next thing is you need to decide how you want to be paid commission. So retail sales are really up to you. You need to work the discount in your favor. You know, a lot of people will, so a 300 PV order works out to about $415-ish dollars. And a lot of people, as soon as they have 415, they go and order. But if you actually want to make money on it, you need to sell 600 retail, which is 300 PV, so you can pay yourself that difference.
300.
So that's one way to pay yourself, is to work that discount in your favor, make sure you actually have the retail amount, and then order with the discount so you can make money. So that's one way to do it. And then another is your downline commission. And that one there's a little bit of work you need to do in the back office to get that set up how you want it. So Cash is the way they pay commission into your back office, where it literally is just in your order screen. And when you're ordering and you get to checkout, you apply Cash. It's different from Bucks in that it actually functions as cash. It doesn't affect your PV or anything like that. It is just cash. Pay quicker, and this is actually new. This is new. So there are two ways that you can use Pay quicker. One is to, this is new, so I need to read this. So one is to link your bank account, which is what we've done. And I can actually explain why. The other is to send a card. And because most distributors are on their own, not a duo like we are, the send a card is great because they can put it on that card and
just use
use the card like a debit card. We can't have that because we can't share that card. So we set it up to link to our bank account, and we actually just transfer that money. So there's instructions on here about where to go in the back office to set the card up if that's how they want to do it. And then another important thing is to take care of the retention level. And what that means is that the default is that all of your commission that comes from your downline will go directly to Cash. So when you check the retention level, which we explain in here how to do that, it's automatically going to be at 100, meaning 100% is being retained to Cash. And then you can change the percentage with how much you want retained as Cash or given to you through Pay Quicker.
Yes.
And then you go to Pay Quicker to decide where that will go from there. So it's all laid out in here how to do that. And that's an important thing. Even if they don't have a downline yet, get that set up now. And then when your downline starts to produce,
not a problem.
You're not having to think about it.
Yep.
So and tell them that. Even if you're not recruiting right away, just get it set up and then you don't have to think about it again. Let's see. So then the next thing, and you can also still request a paper check. At this point, I don't know if they'll ever cut that off. I think they're trying to. But as
a lot
of
faster with the pay quicker and the Senate cash and everything like that.
Yes.
So.
As of now, it's still an option, but if you call Senecare and they say it's not, then you can discuss with them what your options are. The next thing you need to do is just explore the back office, get to know it. There's a lot in there. And I think
useful training materials.
There is, and I think it's really easy to not realize how much is in there because there's so many tabs and tabs within tabs, and it's easy to not realize that there's a lot of really good information in there. Learn about the products. There's a lot of science, and the science is really what sells it. If you understand the science of the skincare and of lip sense, then that really sells the product. And it allows you to educate your customers. Education is really important with these products.
Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation out there. The reason why lip sense tingles, how to take it off properly, why it sticks in the first place. There's an entire, how big is that product knowledge manual? Like 37 pages of just information.
Yes, and so we guide you in here where to go. If you go to the back office, resources, reference guides, there are product knowledge and tons of other information. So that's a great place to learn about the products. Be careful about graphics that you find either through Facebook groups,
Instagram,
or like Cenegraphics, or that you just see if you Google a product, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Just because it's cute doesn't mean it's true. So and it's great if you find a cute graphic that someone is willing to share, but check.
Yes, just double check. Just to keep yourself safe.
Ask an upline. Yes. Go to a team page that you're a part of.
If it just sounds funny, just double check.
Just check, because you don't want to have a customer come back at you upset because something didn't work how they thought it would, or they found out something wasn't true that you told them. And then also learn the Distributor Dashboard. Now, this is important. It will track your retail sales, and so you can go and check where you're at as far as retail. But really where it's the most useful is real-time downline information.
Yes.
Your retail sales is a number, and it will grow. But the function of your downline is very complicated.
Yes.
And it gives you all the information you need. Rank summary, so you can keep an eye on where you're at as far as ranks, and where each distributor is month by month and what they've done.
Who's
where you
ordered what.
You can find their information if you need to give someone a call. All that, emails, everything, it's in there. So that's really important to know. And, get to know it even before you start to really recruit, so that you know how it works. And, look for training videos on that as well. We'll have learning the back office, learning the distributor dashboard, all of that. So, but for now, just go explore and learn about it. Okay, so the next page we're going to cover is goals. If you have a goal without a plan, it's
a wish.
It's a wish. There's not really steps in place for you to know where to go. So set goals. So we've given you a place to set your retail goal and your recruiting goal. Just a little bit of space to write down, what you're thinking, what your plan is. And so for retail, an example we gave, the PV, 300, 750. And then if Fast Start, you may have heard of Fast Start if you are newer, or if you're...
It's discontinued right now.
It's discontinued right now, and I've heard that there's a possibility, it might come back a little bit different. So we didn't put that in here. When it does come back, I'm assuming that it will, we'll edit and it will be there. But for now, it's not. Recruiting. So we know that recruiting can be intimidating to do right at the beginning. But that's part of why we've made this, and why we're doing all these training videos on our YouTube channel, is so that people can feel like even from day one they could recruit someone and have everything. Because really the only reason people are nervous to recruit is because they don't understand everything themselves just yet. And so you want to make sure that you have the information you need easy and accessible, so that your recruits can recruit from day one. And the reason we feel like that is important is because, especially in areas where this is really, Senegence has taken off, if you don't recruit someone, say, you're just getting started, day one, and you're like, someday I'm going to talk to her. If you don't, soon probably someone else will.
Someone else is going to snatch her.
It happens a lot, especially in the areas where this has been around, and blown up a little bit and is a little bit more popular. you know, if you're in an area where it's not as well known yet, then you're very lucky and you can probably sit and think about it for a minute. But in some areas, like where we are, you can't do that. You have to get them quickly.
Yes.
So we're trying to set up a system with this where you can do that. So set a recruiting goal, maiden, or really maiden's the first goal, and it's totally achievable with the systems we're trying to put in place to make it easy to train. So maiden is a goal, or even to just have conversations. That could be a recruiting goal. If you really just are not ready to recruit, make your goal be to have a conversation about it, to bring it up with someone, to tell a few people, just get it out there, post about it, something like that. So the goals can be really whatever that person feels ready for. But it's never a bad idea to give people a little push, both in retail and recruiting.
Yes, just push yourself. It's good to challenge yourself.
Yes. So, and then the last page is just a thank you, and it might not be a bad idea if you are going to be mailing this to someone or bringing it to them to write a little note, write a little cute note. All right, ladies, thank you for joining us for this training. That pretty much covers it. We just kind of walked through it like you would with a new sign up. And this is meant for people who have signed up, not someone who's thinking about it. That would be a lot to swallow if they're just considering it.
That would be drinking through a fire hose.
That would be drinking through a fire hose. Now, the whole idea and the reason we did this for you guys is because we want to make it easy. Like we said, especially in areas where it's really taking off, if you think too long or kind of wait to talk to people, you might lose them. You might miss out on it. So we want to give you the opportunity, even if you're brand new and you don't quite know if you understand everything yet, it's all laid out and they'll know what to do. And even if you've been around a long time, this is a nice laid out thing for them.
Just a reminder,
It's a great thing for them to have so that they can go down the list and check things off and know everything that they need to do. So again, it's in the files in our Your Lip Ladies team page. Feel free to put it in the files of your team pages as your team grows and you have one. And if you have any questions, of course, comment with them. Shoot us a message on Facebook if you know us there. And
thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.